Oh wow, there's a shiny. Bro, what a great way to start this video. Hello everyone, my name is Rescue, and today I'm going to be going over the good, the bad, and my hopes for the future for the recent PokeForce demo. As of the time of filming this, the demo is currently over. All progress has been wiped from characters, unless you participated in some of their little events that they held, in which case you would be receiving some type of a sticker for your badge when the full game comes out. If you don't know who I am a longtime streamer of the game of Pokemon Nexus Online, formerly known as Pokemon Planet. I've been playing Pokemon Nexus Online for about 3.5 years now, and as such, I feel as though there can be some overlap between Pokemon MMO and Pokemon Nexus to bring into PokeForce in order to make the game as best as it can be. Without further ado, let's just dive into what I thought was good, bad, and my hopes for the future for PokeForce. Alright, so the good things, as of the most recent summer demo, are that the shiny rate is 1 in 2K. Amazing! Absolutely lovely. It's even lower than Pokenexus's, and it's incredibly lower than PokeMMO's. I do feel as though this is probably going to get changed at some point in the future. It's just a thing to keep players motivated and grinding their game currently. Another good thing are the clue scrolls. Clue scrolls drop every so often from mining, chopping down trees, or battling wild Pokemon. You usually do like a couple of steps and you'll get like a reward. And the rewards were completely randomized during this beta. Most of the time they were very, very good. Speaking of mining and farming and chopping down trees, I very much enjoyed putting time and effort into those skills, as they are a unique and fresh take on the systems. Another good thing is that there were only 2 legendaries in the PokeForce beta, and those were Shaman and Celebi, and after you catch them, you were able to keep them. In some other games, you're not quite able to hold on to or keep for very long periods of time the legendaries, which I think is completely bogus. And so I feel like this is something that PokeForce got right. As of right now, currently in the demo, there is no flying, but movement speed is fast and smooth. Absolutely phenomenal. They knocked it out of the park with this one. Another thing I really enjoyed was the mainline quest. It was nice and intriguing. Like I said, this is only a demo, so it's only a couple of fetch quests, a couple of trainer battles, but you know, it's very promising looking, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they have more in store. The very last thing on my good list for PokeForce beta is that trainer rank and daily questing is a very fun and engaging mechanic. It has been asked for in Pokemon Nexus for, I want to say, years now, for at least daily quests or some type of questing system, and to see it realized in PokeForce is actually amazing. It's everything that I could have wanted from a questing system. I would also recommend maybe adding like weekly quests or monthly quests, but I don't know how that would necessarily work with the time span of the days being 3.5 hours each. Moving on to the bad section, and there's not too much. So first and foremost, not all the moves work as intended. I went into this demo expecting just like a proof of concept, very bare bones type game, and that is what I actually received, so I'm not too upset about that. So things like priority moves sometimes work, sometimes don't. The stats seem to be too unbalanced or broken. Towards like the last couple of days, I had like a level 70 Typhlosion that was constantly getting outsped by like a level 20 Furret for no reason other than something's wrong with the stats. In addition, when farming wild Pokemon, there's no really incentive to farm wild Pokemon unless you want clue scrolls. Outside of that, you do get drops from wild Pokemon. However, I do feel the drop rate of the item seems way too high. Maybe a way to combat this in the future would be to lower the drop rate and to also add money drops from wild Pokemon to encourage players to actually farm the wild Pokemon. The notifications that were present throughout the PokeForce beta were too small and in a weird position. I would like for them to be adjustable and also to be moved in a different position, like the top center of the screen, or hell, even to the direct center of my vision. Another thing was forced evolution. If your Pokemon hit the level threshold or the conditions required to evolve, it automatically did. There was no option to keep it at whatever state it was, so I would really like for that option going forward. The berry growth for farming is way too long. They are 3 to 3.5 hours. I didn't necessarily time it, but that is insane for berries to be growing. They should not take a full day of in-game time, 3 hours IRL, in order for these to grow. Currently in the PokeForce beta, when in wild battles, the only way to interact with the battle menu itself is via spacebar. I would really like to see an adoption of maybe Pokemon Nexus's system, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 system, where you can use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on your keyboard, and it all correlates to a button. Another thing that detracted from the experience, more towards like the last half of the demo being out, was the HP bar bug. If your Pokemon took damage, but then afterwards killed whatever was in front of you, your HP bar would reset to whatever it was before taking damage from the current or from the mod, you just fainted. So if you were at 100% but you took 25% and then reverse O-code whatever was in front of you, your HP bar would display that you have 100% health, but that wasn't actually the case. Run chance in wild battles is based on speed, which is very bad for traveling in the early game because most people just want to speed through the story content, which I completely understand. I would like to see an adoption maybe of PokeNexus' style where it's a 95% chance, but there is that small chance of you failing to run and then being punished for it. As of right now, it detracts from the whole experience because there were times where I failed to run maybe like 3, 4, 5 times in a row, and it felt very, very bad. Now, whilst I did say earlier that skills, mining, and chopping down trees are a very good and healthy addition to the PokeForce demo, I also would like to say that while the trees, they respawn in the same place, the mining nodes, they have a chance of either not respawning at all or spawning in a completely different spot with a varied stone being respawned. So it's not always going to be iron, it's not always going to be tin, it's not always going to be copper in the same locations. This issue more so presented itself in further of Dark Cave, and so going forward I would like to see some kind of an adoption system or some middle ground between what is currently in the PokeForce demo and the Pokemon Nexus design of mining, where the rocks are just in one spot but they have a set respawn timer, and so you can kind of just sit at them and camp them. Another thing that felt bad was that the surf speed in the game was too slow. I could not wait to get my hands on a surfboard and be able to, explore more of the map that was already available to me. However, when I finally got the surfboard, the surfing speed was way too slow. So going forward, I would like to see that movement speed increased, or to be at least on par with land movement or bike movement. The very last thing I wanted to talk about on my bad list for the PokeForce demo is that your progress, all of it, gets wiped after the demo ends. So I believe they said that they are doing a Halloween demo, or a demo around Halloween time, somewhere in that time vicinity, which means you're going to have to start all over. So all progress that you've made is going to be completely reset. You're going to have to do everything from scratch, in addition to whatever new content that they do add to the Halloween demo. This is completely unacceptable to me. There should be some sort of progress saving, at least for the demos, so that way players are able to go from demo to demo and experience the new content, test out the new content that gets added when each demo gets released. If we were going from demo to full release, I would understand this. However, demo to demo, progress should be saved. Moving on to our last section of the video, this is my hopes for the future. And this list is kind of long, but bear with me. I believe it will, in time, it will make PokeForce an incredible game. So first thing is a toggle for movement animations to be turned on or off. It allows for battle speeds to be faster, and that is something that the game desperately needs. Currently, in a trainer battle or a wild battle, Pokemon's health is just a green bar, a solid green bar. Going forward, I would like to see maybe a percentage, or hell, even the HP displayed on that bar, how much HP you're working with. I would also like to see, especially in a trainer battle, if there are additional Pokemon that you need to defeat, some kind of an indicator on the screen or in the battle menu showing that, hey, you have like 2 or 3 left to go. Another hope for the future I have is that when you walk into a Pokemon Center, your Pokemon are instantly healed. You no longer have to talk to anybody behind the counter. It's just boom, you're in, you're out, resulting in you having more time to go back out and grind. What I'm about to say next as a hope for the future might seem controversial to some players who have never experienced any sort of quality of life feature in their life. I would really prefer that the power points of moves are restored after each battle, so you don't have to, pause whatever you're doing every 45 minutes or to an hour, go back to a PC, heal, and then go back to wherever it was you were grinding at to continue your grind. Also going forward, I would like to see a possible change or a rework or tweak from the QE system of interaction to just spacebar and or hotkeys, an ability to reorder your moves on your mons. I spent probably an hour trying to reset or talk to the move tutor in Violet City, just trying to get one move in the first slot and then 2 other moves that were semi-usable. And as of recording, I still have not gotten that specific move set. Allowing us to reorder our moves after they've already been learned is such a huge quality of life feature, and the fact that it wasn't even in the demo is a little bit sad and disheartening. Another quality of life feature I would like to see implemented is some type of command or some type of way to check what Pokemon are in each routes, or where they're located in specific routes, so that way you don't have to ask in the chat or ask somebody in the Discord server. You just automatically know what's there, where it is, how to find it, what's the % chance of it spawning, all that stuff. It's very helpful for quests. This next one might be able to tie hand in hand with the one just previously mentioned, but allowing for multiple windows or menus to be opened while in a battle, like being able to track your Pokemon's XP, how much XP you're gaining, how much mining EXP you're getting, how much foraging EXP you're getting. It would be very, very helpful. This next one might get some sideways glances, but you never know. I've heard rumors that the shiny rate is going to be lowered from 1 in 2K to 1 in 20K, which is still better than a certain other game, but not quite where I personally would like it to be. I would like it to be at least around like 1 in 8K, at least make it like the early game odds of shiny Pokemon. 1 in 20K shiny odds is absolutely insane and unacceptable, and should not have a place in any Pokemon MMO going forward. Going back to skilling, when walking up to a tree or a mining node, when you collide with it, your hotbar should automatically swap to whatever tool is best suited for the job. So if you walk into a mining node, your pickaxe gets automatically equipped. If you walk into a tree, your axe automatically equipped, so on and so forth, for whatever skills end up getting added to the game. Another thing I would like to see is for allow movement when menus are open. Currently in the PokeForce demo, whenever you open a menu, you are not able to move. It completely locks you. I feel as though players should be able to be trusted to keep their menus open and to be able to move them around their screen and order them however way they want, and to not be penalized by having to stand still. Another issue I would like to see corrected is that the game is way too zoomed in. So I would like to see an option for any type of zooming out, just to be able to tell where you're going, what direction you need to be going in, more clarity, being able to see more overworld mons on the map, stack limits in your inventory. I feel like 64 is kind of too low. Even in the bank, they only went up to 256. In the future, I would like to see them either rise to like 1,000, maybe even infinite if possible. I understand that might be a huge ask, but I'm hoping that sometime in the future we can get there. When mining in Dark Cave, even with the lantern, it was way too dark still, and the radius of the light only extended about 2 tiles. So going forward, I would like to see the radius increase and the brightness of the lantern also increase. When catching a wild Pokemon, I would like to see any kind of dialogue or animation akin to the shakes, or like the dialogue of, ooh, almost had it, arg, almost had it, it appeared to be caught, things of that nature. Again, this would help more clarity in the PvE aspect. Another thing I'd like to see changed is that when designing your character in the character customization screen in the very beginning, I would like to see more options. I think there's only like at most like 5 of each hair, color, pants, shoes, things of that nature. So going forward, I would like to see it be increased. Once again, heading back to skills, Pokemon encountered from chopping down trees or mining rock smash rocks should give a little bonus EXP, because you're taking time out of your day to either smash these rocks and you're getting inconvenienced by an encounter. You should at least get rewarded with some type of EXP. Now, if the shiny rate eventually gets changed to the 1 in 20K odds, personally, I would like to see some sort of system similar to how Pokemon Nexus does it, where you can apply a ticket for X amount of hours or days or months to where you have increased odds of encountering shinies or just rarer Pokemon in general. Touching on the notification system a little bit, I would like to see a notification toggle for whether or not berries are fully grown or harvestable. Another quality of life feature I would like to see is in battle, whenever you hover over a move, it tells you what the power of it is, how much PP is left on the move, the typing of the move, how much damage it's going to do to your opponent, whether it's 2x, 4x, 0.5x, or completely immune, or 0.25x. In terms of encounters, I would like to see overworld spawns despawn a little bit faster. Currently, they're taking way too long. And just having a little bit of an increase in speed on that would help cycle through Pokemon faster. Maybe more shinies get found, maybe more cool Pokemon get found, and so on and so forth. The second to last thing is to allow for more quest slots with increased trainer rank and a possibility to prestige your trainer rank to continue grinding trainer ranks. Because obviously it's going to cap out at like 100. So being able to prestige and start over gets you just like a little bit more money from when you're defeating trainers, and also the ability to stack more quests. Now, the very last thing I want to talk about is the option to disable players. When I was grinding for Shaman, there was a handful of players who were walking around or running around off their bike. And since you have a follower Pokemon, they have very lucrative shinies or very interesting shinies that are able to spawn there. And sometimes I would get tricked and I would run into it and be like, oh, that guy's just leading Pokemon. So being able to disable players for more visual clarity of the overworld spawns, it would be highly requested of me, and not only me, but a lot of other players as well feel the same way. So please very much at least look into it. That's like the one thing I hope, the one thing above all else that gets added to the next demo or future demos going down the line. Finally, we are done with my list of good, bad, and hopes list for for the PokeForce demo. Let me know what you agree with, disagree with, what you would change about the PokeForce demo going forward in the comments below. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace.